You know, up until 8 weeks ago, I had never been censored in my life, but lately a lot of the content that I've been putting out has been censored and banned, and I know you're a proponent of the First Amendment. How do you feel about that when it comes to digital spaces, and how do you feel about that in general?
Well, any kind of censorship or overpowering of an individual free man's right to express himself is, I think, universally condemned. Well, it used to be universally condemned. Now we have proponents of censorship, and it's a heartbreaker. You know, I'm 72 years old this year, Brian, and I live in America. I was lucky to be born here where the founding fathers established self-evident truth that we have the right to express ourselves freely. And the First Amendment, whether you have one in your country or not, the guitar player will try to explain it to you, that a free man, which we're all free in our heart and soul, whether we're victims of tyrants or despots or emperors or kings. I really hate all those power abusing punks. But anyhow, the average human being wakes up in the morning and they know they should be unencumbered in expressing themselves. And the beautiful thing about the United States Constitution, Bill of Rights, First Amendment, is that it protects harsh speech that is offensive. It's not to protect comfortable speech and welcome speech. It's about protecting defiance. I think the entire American dream, which, dare I say, I embody. I didn't invent the middle finger, Brian, but I perfected it at the age of 7. You know in your heart and soul that you have these God-given individual rights that are clearly and unambiguously outlined in the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And I, too, before Donald Trump was elected in 2016, I was with the great man, the defiant man, the status quo crushing man, which was overdue in America, God bless him. I've always been a status quo crusher myself. I had between 20 million and 36 million Facebookers. I had more than Beyonce because I actually have content to my First Amendment. And right after this great man, this defiant man, this status quo crushing, we the people shit kicker was elected, the hippies and the communists and the punks at high tech knocked me down from a high of 36 million, and they've kept it and controlled it at just around 3.5 million. And even that is censored when I'll put a poem about freedom. I don't even have to tell you what the poem might be about. I just did a poem about freedom, and I put a picture of Dirty Harry, and they censored it because Clint Eastwood never said that. Nobody said Clint Eastwood ever said it. This is Dirty Harry. It's a character, you dirtbag, and it's about his status quo defying and his righteousness. And the poem looked like it went with an image of Dirty Harry. But that's how stupid these people are. And anybody that would attempt to muzzle another human being is at the very least stupid, but worse, they're power abusers. They've somehow accumulated this power because they certainly don't have the authority. I think you and I have the authority to express ourselves. And if our expression, yelling fire in a crowded theater, for example, causes harm to our fellow man, then you go after the abuser of speech. But not if it just ruffles feathers. A guy the other day said, Nugent ruffles feathers. No, I don't. I pluck them. So I'm a free guy, and I know that my thoughts are well constructed based on the evidence and the historical evidence that I've examined, and where certain conduct has oppressed people, slaughtered people, been guilty of genocide. So I fight against that bad and ugly to maximize the good. And I'm just a guitar player. But there's a lot of guys across America that are just like me that won't take any crap. And that's why Donald Trump is president.